recording. So, Jined Lamata, welcome to episode 2 of the Casey LaRue podcast. Name to be determined. So I'm going to start off by introducing you. So Jined Lamata was born in Venezuela and moved to the U.S. with her mother when she was 5 years old. She grew up in South Florida and recently moved to Louisville, Kentucky, where we both live, and that's how we met. So Jined is currently social media manager for Univision, and she has a degree, a psychology degree from Florida International University, and she studied life coaching at the University of Miami. And Jined also coaches aspiring female entrepreneurs on mindset and creating an action plan that aligns with your purpose and passion. Jined teaches her clients, there is no right time for change or to do the things you love. The time is now. No one else can do this for you. Only you have the power to create the life you want. Having guidance and accountability is key. Jined, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
High five. We high five at the end of every podcast. All right. So, tell me about your job as social media manager for Univision.
Okay, so I am, like Casey said, currently working at Univision in their community empowerment campaign. So Univision is a television network for Spanish language, and they have these great campaigns for the community to provide tools and resources for the Hispanic community, as far as like, we have a teacher communicator app that helps parents translate their letters from Spanish to English, or we have voter registration tools. So my job is to basically promote all of the great work that Univision is doing, out to the world through social media, which is, closely aligned with the work that I do one-on-one with women, is empowering them. So empowering the community, empowering these women to do the things that they love and to, work on that big project that they want that they haven't been able to do. So
your work is very important, and Jined's work just inspires people to really dig deep and do the work that we're not necessarily told about. It's kind of like, it's for myself, just finding your passion and purpose is along the lines of what we'll talk about, and I think that that's really hard. So going back to your coaching business, you work with aspiring female entrepreneurs.
Right.
Could you tell me some more about that?
Yeah, so basically I work with women who are aspiring to be an entrepreneur, or they have a big idea or a big dream, but they haven't taken that step to create it. So I take, we work together to take them from where they are now to where they want to be, by identifying what those unique talents are. What are those things that are blocking you from gaining the things that you want? What are those, working on the mindset part. I think that's a big chunk of the work that I do, is setting the mindset up for success, programming the mind for success. Yeah. It's huge. It's a big part of business. So doing that kind of stuff and figuring out, identifying, who the person is and what they want to do, what really lights them up, and then discovering what the key action items are to create a game plan or a roadmap in order to gain that success in life and business.
So with your work as a social media manager, you obviously have a lot of expertise in digital brand management, website, all of that stuff. So what about positioning and strategy? How do you bring that passion and purpose and translate it into a business? Or do you say someone wants to be, say they're an accountant and then they just want to be online? So what's the difference?
So I think that after we've gone through, so a client and I will go through that part of the mindset that we talked about and discovering what those passions are. The strategy and positioning part is, it's where it gets really fun, because now you have a plan, you know what business you want, and you have to put it out in the world. And I think one of the biggest challenges is that we have to get noticed in a very noisy world that is the internet. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges, getting noticed, and that's where we work together. And I use that expertise from, like you said, from branding, website, social media, to figure out what is the best way that you can show your unique self, your unique talents, your unique story and perspective in order to stand out in this noisy world. I think that's pretty much the other half of what I do with my clients is trying to take their passions and purposes and create a business out of it, so they can make money and they could live the lifestyle that they desire.
So for me, finding your passion and purpose is like the hardest thing ever. Like I have no what do you do? I mean, do you read books? Like obviously you're the expert, but what's the path that you take your clients down to identify those?
So it's funny because it seems hard. I mean, I think that we do think about those things a lot. Like,
do we think too much?
What is our passion? And I think it's right, like, under our noses. It's the things that we do all the time. It's your passions are the things that you enjoy doing the most. And so I think people fail to pay attention to those things. So what are you reading about the most? What are you doing on your spare time? What are you talking about the most? When you get into an argument, like not like the heated arguments, but when you get into a discussion, what are those things that make you light up, that you're like, I am not going to back down. I want to, talk about this topic. Those are the things you're passionate about.
Okay.
So I think, if we paid a little bit more attention to ourselves and got to know ourselves a little bit more, we can identify what those passions are, very quickly.
So know thyself.
Yeah, totally.
Pay attention.
And I think that's the hardest part, knowing yourself.
Really paying attention to what you're doing and being mindful.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. And have you heard of this technique where you write down like what you do every hour of the day?
Yeah, I have heard of that. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
I know people that
really hard.
It would be hard. So we all have different techniques that work for us, but I think like every hour would probably be too much for me. But definitely writing down what you want to do the next day, I think that works well for me.
Okay.
So that goes with goal setting, and that's a part of like after you've identified your passions and your purpose. I think that's the next step, is kind of coming up with a game plan, and then following through by using those that strategy and those techniques that you mentioned. Like
so say, all right, so I've paid attention. So I'm going through your program and I've been paying attention to what I'm really interested in and fired up about. So, for me, it's like doing a podcast and paying attention to what's going on in business and leadership. And passion, check. Now, how does that translate to purpose?
So I love this topic because, and it's what we were talking about earlier in the week, that people use the word passion and purpose interchangeably, but it's really very different. So your passion is more like, the things that light you up, like that feeling that you get when you think about something that you love doing, or, that feeling that you get when you're doing something. So it's it's kind of like the fuel, like what, fires the engine up. And then purpose is more like the why. So why are you doing these things? And, and I think that's more of a, depending on what you believe in, more of a spiritual type of thing. Like, we all ask ourselves, like, why are we here? Why are humans here? What is my purpose in life? So it stems a lot from, like, the connection that you've made to either a higher power or something like that.
Okay.
Whether that's God or the universe or whatever you want to call it. That purpose that you feel like you're put in on this earth to do something. And then the passion,
your special gift?
Yeah, your special gift.
Or something like you just are good at. Yeah. You just naturally are good at.
Maybe you're not good at this particular thing, but you know that you have to learn how to do it, or you have to get better. Because we can all, maybe my purpose is to help women entrepreneurs, because I believe that when people are doing the work that they love, they can change the world. So I want to help. I want to be a part of that. So I know that that's my purpose, to help women, to empower them.
Okay.
And some of my passions maybe have something to do with that. Maybe my passion is teaching. My passion is, I can have multiple passions. We all do. Like maybe art. Art is a passion of mine. So maybe find a way to incorporate that within my purpose. Or, you know, my passion is music, or my passion is, not in my case, but your passion could be, you know, being outdoors. So maybe trying to figure out how you can merge your purpose with your passion. I believe that in order to achieve like radiant success, you need to have those two components.
Okay.
Passion and purpose. Figure it out.
So let me try. So purpose is the why.
Why?
So that's why you do the things that you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bigger picture.
Bigger
And then
picture.
passion is more like the feeling.
Okay.
The feeling, the feeling that you get. I think even if you look up the dictionary, the word passion, I think it says something like that. Like passion is, you know, a description of the feeling that you get when you do something. Like it really actually means that, you know.
The feeling.
If you look up in the dictionary,
passion.
Yeah. So it's very similar to that. That's how you can make the distinction right away. So.
Okay, and then purpose is your why.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm interested in business, and my why is, so my passion could be teaching, and then my why could be, you know, I believe that I was put on this earth. It's one of my like special gifts or something to just educate and have a podcast.
Because you can educate. So let's say your purpose is educating, you know, you know, whatever topic, or just educating in general. You can do that in many ways. You can have a podcast. You can have a TV show, and you're educating. You can be a teacher. You could be a school teacher. You could be. There's so many things that you could be passionate about that serve your greater purpose. So I think that a lot of the work that I do is trying to figure that out with my clients. And then, you know, looking for business ideas that align with that.
Opportunity.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So I see a pyramid. Passion, purpose, and then opportunity. Is that the next block on the pyramid?
Right.
Okay.
Right, definitely. There has to be some sort of strategy to everything that you're, you know, when you translate all of that yummy stuff like passion and purpose, then you have to figure out how you know, a strategic plan of how you're going to execute this.
Yeah.
You know, is there an opportunity in the market to you know, do this, whatever this idea is? What is being done out there already that you can do better, or that maybe it's not being done and you have this great idea that you can incorporate and, you know, bring to life.
So that's more your positioning and strategically placing yourself in the market to utilize your passion and purpose.
Right, yeah.
And I believe also that passion and purpose are going to push you through the hard times, right?
Yeah, totally.
Because it's so hard
Yeah.
to have your first website or online show or write a blog post or ask someone for advice who you look up to. I mean, that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
there's times where I have literally said, like, why am I doing this? This is hard. Like, there's so much to do. There's so much work. Why don't I just, you know, settle for this other job or, you know, this other thing that I might want to do that I might be passionate for. But then I think back and I'm like, oh, okay, I remember why I'm doing this, because of my purpose, like my greater purpose. So, you know, I'm going to push through this, like, really difficult website building or, you know, copywriting, all the stuff that you don't want to do, but you have to in order to succeed in your purpose.
Yeah, that's where you just have to push through it. And you just have to, the ugly stuff that's hard and you don't know how to do, and you have to set up a PayPal button or a WordPress visual editor or something like that. You just have to fight it until you just do it.
And just remember why you're doing something. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know why you're doing something, then
Yeah.
it's going to be so easy to just fall off.
Frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
So tell me about how that can translate into your a personal mission statement.
Okay, so I see a personal mission statement as sort of like a company's mission statement.
Yeah.
You know, every decision that a company makes is based on that mission statement, is aligned to it. So I think we all need personal mission statements in order to know what decisions we're going to make on a day-to-day basis that align with that big picture, and that way we don't fall off track. You know, if sometimes there's been opportunities, you know, that fall on my lap, and I'm sure, and I know that they have fallen on your lap, where you're like, yeah, this is awesome, I'm gonna, you know, do this and this and that, and then you're like, wait a minute, is this gonna serve my greater purpose? Is this gonna really, like, you know, does this really align with what I want to do with the big picture? No, it doesn't. It sounds cool now, but I'm gonna toss it aside. I'm gonna say no, and I think that's key in you know, every day, like making those decisions every day. So
okay, so and then how does that align with goal setting?
Well, you need I always say that, you know, a boat can run, or even a car, you can turn it on and it can run, and you can press the accelerator, but if you don't know where you're going and you don't know how to get there, you're not going to get to where you want to be. Right. So it's the same concept. Like, you need to have that goal, that personal mission. You know, my goal is to whatever.
And is mission a goal? Like your long-term goal? Is it the same thing?
I mean, you could say that. I would say that within your mission, there are many goals that you need to accomplish in order to succeed at that mission. Because we always set goals for ourselves that, you know, once we complete them, we set another goal. So I wouldn't say your personal mission is the final destination. I would just say it's your mantra. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. So is yours, you want to serve women entrepreneurs? Is that yours?
Mine is that I want to empower people. I just want to empower people to be happy and to do the things that they love. And so one of those ways is by helping women entrepreneurs. I just like entrepreneurship and business. It's one of my passions. Okay. So you know, I'm pursuing this passion which aligns with my personal mission or purpose. So I would say that purpose is like your personal mission.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent. Now I know you practice affirmations.
Yeah.
And you're so good at that. So can you take me through an affirmation exercise that you do? Like, I know we've talked about before, there's one about limiting beliefs. And
right, yeah. And that's a big one because I told you I call them the monkeys in my head that say all those negative bad. Everybody has a monkey in their head, and you just have to like get to know them and say, okay, stop talking, go away, because they're like, oh, you're not good enough. Yeah. Who do you think you are? Yeah. Like, you're not qualified to do this.
You're not smart enough. Yeah. You're not pretty enough.
What if you fail?
Yeah.
Or, you know,
you might sound dumb.
Yeah, all those limiting beliefs. Yeah. Sometimes we don't realize that we're doing that to ourselves. It's self-sabotage. So a good way to get rid of them, first of all, is knowing that those thoughts are not who we are. Because chemically and biologically, we have synapses, just little thoughts that come into our mind that have nothing to do with who we are and what we think. I don't know, this is probably like TMI, but have you ever been like driving on a bridge and then thought like, oh my God, what if like the bridge fell and I like, you know, twisted my car to the side and I just like fell in a ditch. That's like super random. Why are you thinking about that? But everybody does that. They're just thoughts. They're just thoughts. They're not us. They're not who. It's not like I'm really gonna like, you know, turn the car to the side and like fall in a ditch for no reason. Yeah. So those are the same things as the limiting beliefs. Beliefs that we say to ourselves that limit us from doing the things that we want to do. Yeah. And so like you were asking, what do we do to change those beliefs? A good exercise that I love is just writing them down. So, be honest. Like, I actually think that I'm not good enough. Like, I'm going to write it down. And then right next to it, to do like 2 columns, limiting beliefs and like positive affirmation or whatever, the opposite. And put right next to it the opposite, the complete opposite of that limiting belief. So if it's like, I'm not good enough, then your positive affirmation will be, I am good enough right now. Like, I am just where I want to be. Or, if you think that it's hard to get money, like it's just hard for me to get money. I'm always financially broke. It's just always been hard. Yeah. So you write that down, and then you put, money is, I have an abundance of money. I have, like, and you write it in the present moment. So you say, I have this now. I am this right now. Like, I am smart. I am intelligent. I am pretty enough. Yeah. I am, qualified enough. So if you write down those things and you just kind of repeat them to yourself, you are able to program your mind to think differently. And also you're identifying every time those bad thoughts, those monkeys get in your mind, you're like, hi. Oh, I know you. I know where you came from. So you're able to kind of reprogram them.
You almost like shake their hand and be like, hi, negative thought. Yeah. Here's a positive thought that I'm going to beat you down with.
Yeah. I already thought about you, and I already know that you mean nothing to me. So you just go ahead and just practice that. It's not easy. We all have negative thoughts all the time. So
I think fear and thinking you're not good enough will keep you from so many things.
Yeah, totally.
And almost from approaching the unknown and being like, hi, like, can this opportunity work or not? So it's
yeah, totally. I think fear is one of the biggest things, the biggest, monkey. It's just fear of the unknown, fear of what will people think, fear of failing, fear of succeeding. Some people are like scared of succeeding. Some people are like, what if I do achieve everything I want? Oh my God, that's scary. It's so big.
Well, maybe like subconsciously, like, what if I... so what if you ask for a raise and you're like, and you've done all your research and you think, I think that I should be paid this amount, this is all the things I've done, and then you are scared to say it because you might get rejected, but if you don't say it, then
you're never going to know.
Yeah. And
I think that's a big thing that I've gone through, a lot of people go through. I mean, I still have fears. Everybody has fears. And I think as long as you have fear and use it to your advantage and use it as a fuel, as gasoline, and you're able to transform that fear, then you're good.
I'll share my technique. My technique is, as soon as I think of that I should do something, I just do it. Yeah. Like right away. Like I try to not let fear creep in. I try to just feel like, okay, gas on the, pedals to the metal, just do it and then like figure it out later. Yeah. Because I know if I hesitate too long, I won't do it because I'll question myself like over and over again. So, and that's
a good method. Just go for it.
I just do everything right then.
Just dive. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's.
When I started my coaching business, I hired a coach because I was like, well, I want to be a coach and I'm not willing to invest in myself. That makes no sense. So I hired a coach and it was awesome. And one of the simplest things that she said, but made such a big impact on me, was start before you're ready. So just do it. Like, start. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're ready or not. And I'm like, oh, dang it. So all those excuses that I had, I can't use them because I should start before I'm ready. Yeah. And it really, really helped me. So.
Yeah. Everyone has a version 1, right? Yeah. Everyone has the first time they did yoga or asked for a raise or asked someone out on a date or met a new friend or emailed someone that they thought, man, they're really cool. Like, they're doing all this cool stuff. And they're like, wow, and email them and be like, hey, like, can I, grab coffee with you?
Yeah. I love that about you. I love that you just go for it and you and you're like, well, I want to meet this person. I'm going to meet them. I'm going to email them, or
And
find a way.
sometimes they don't respond, and that's fine. At least I know that I took a step, and I know that I did what I wanted to do. And the surprising thing is, most people are receptive to outreach.
Yeah,
they're like, okay, yeah, sure. So that's awesome. Well, I have a couple rapid fire questions to end the podcast. So every person needs blank.
A mentor.
A mentor.
I feel like everybody needs someone that they look up to, whether that's someone in your family or someone that, your teacher, or someone like you cold email them and you say, hey, I want to get to know you. And funny story about that, because when I moved to Louisville, I didn't know anybody at all. And the first thing that I did was, I need to meet someone who's doing the same thing that I'm doing. I need to meet a like-minded person, who's ahead of the game, who's already done what I'm doing now. And so I Googled, coaches, life coaches, business coaches in the area, and I found this person, and I was like, oh my God, she is great, amazing. She's going to think I'm crazy, but I'm going to email her. So I did, and she was so grateful. She was so grateful that I emailed her, and I said, hey, I will offer you some of my social media consulting skills, and if you would just meet with me and talk to me, and I can pick your brain. And she was so up for it. And now I consider her my mentor, and I meet with her every single week, and tackle those challenges that I'm going through, and bounce ideas off of each other. So I think everybody needs someone that has already done what they want to do, and that they could reach out to and be guided by them. I think we can't do it alone sometimes. I don't think we can ever do it alone. We need people around us that will support and motivate us.
Yeah, I think similar. And I've heard a technique. Try to surround yourself with people who are one step ahead of where you want to be. So just exactly as you're saying, or on the next where you're aspiring to go, and then have a peer group who are has helped me so much. Like Jined has helped me so much. You just don't even know. Have a peer group of someone you can bounce ideas off of, and some of my ideas are not good, and that's good. That's good. It's a volume.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah.
And then to have someone who you can mentor.
Yeah.
Because that gives me so much fulfillment to help people who I know. Like, I can impart wisdom that I've gained in the last 5 years.
Well, you learn more when you teach, so...
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's very valuable.
I get so much out of that. I love, love, love to help people, coach people through career transitions and how to ask for a job or a raise. That's one of my favorite things. So
I've been there.
Yeah. All right, here's how you do it.
We do another podcast on that.
Here's how you get a job in a new city.
Exactly.
So, next question. What book are you reading right now?
I am reading like 50 books.
Okay.
No, I start a book and then I kind of just read little pieces every day of different books. But right now I'm focused on A Course in Miracles.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like a self-study curriculum for spiritual transformation. So it's very, very, very cool. And you should read it. I mean, I think everybody, for life and for business, I think having a wholesome spirit is super important. I think that's a big part of success. So.
I agree. I think how you feel on the inside, like if you feel good on the inside and not cocky, but if you feel comfortable and like you're at peace with where you are in the world and what you stand for, then you have the confidence to like go and do big things because you're very sure of yourself. Yeah. So I agree with that.
I agree, yes.
So a course in miracles.
A Course in Miracles.
In miracles. Okay. So what is your favorite podcast, Jined?
I was thinking about that the other day, and I just was like, I love so many different podcasts.
Okay.
But right now, I'm really hooked on a marketing podcast called Build Your Tribe by Shalene Johnson.
Oh, I love her.
Shalene Johnson?
Yes.
She's amazing because she
That's
makes marketing
cute.
sound so fun and like,
Yeah.
you know, she's very upbeat and she just like energizes me, and she talks
Yeah.
about one like little marketing technique or something, and I'm like pumped up. So
Yes.
I like to listen to her, and then sometimes listen to NPR has a really good podcast called Planet Money.
Awesome.
I was never into like economy or anything like that, but this podcast is so good, and they talk about different like stories that have happened in the U.S. and like it's really good. So I'm listening to those two right now.
Awesome. And if you could have a billboard anywhere, where would it go and what would it say?
Where would it go?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh my gosh. Okay, it would say, "The best is yet to come."
Oh,
I like that. The best is yet to come.
Is yet to come.
Yes. And where would it go? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So would you? Yeah. Would it?
It would go in the busiest place ever, like Times Square or something.
Times Square.
Yeah.
Would it be huge?
It would be huge. The
best is yet to come.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. I enjoyed this.
Yes. All right,
awesome. High five. Episode 2.
Episode 2. Thanks, Jined. Bye.